Hey, what's up guys? Hardleg Joe here with the What a Deck profile for the Galaxy Eyes Felgrand deck. I'm just going to go through everything in here and then I'll explain how it works. So we of course have 3 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, 2 Divine Dragon Lord Felgrand, 2 Galaxy Knight, 1 Arkbrave Dragon, 3 Galaxy Soldier, 3 Paladin of Felgrand, 2 Summoner Monk, 1 Keeper of the Shrine, 3 Galaxy Wizard, and 3 Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon. For spells, we have 3 Return of the Dragon Lords, 3 Trade-In, 3 Galaxy Expedition, 2 Forbidden Chalice, and 3 Twin Twister. Our only trap, 3 Call of the Haunted. The extra deck, we have 2 number 95 Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon, 2 Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon, 1 number 62 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, 1 Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon, 1 number 38 Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy, 2 number 107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, 1 Cyber Infinity Dragon, 1 Tears Keeper of Genesis, 1 Cyber Dragon Nova, 1 Dark Rebellion, 1 101, and 1 Castell. The side deck I'll go over in a moment. So this deck, it's a bit of a toolbox. It runs off a whole lot of different things. It has a lot of different plays it can make, depending on what kind of situation you're in. So it's best to just go through it card by card, and explain how each card works individually. Of course, starting with Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, you can special summon this card from your hand by tributing 2 monsters with 2,000 or more attack, which you rarely use, but you can do it. Most of the time you're using this rank 8 Ixie material, you're special summoning it. We have ways to get it from the graveyard or from your hand. It can also be decent on its own. It has this effect that at the start of the battle phase, either player's battle phase, you can banish both this monster and the card it battles, and then return them to the field at the end of the battle phase, and if the monster was an Ixie monster, this card gains 500 for each material attached to it. So against decks that Ixie summon a lot, this is actually pretty decent because it can detach all the materials from something. If you're fighting a Dante, you can remove this and Dante, it'll lose all its material, and then it'll just be back useless, and you'll still have enough attack to get over pretty much whatever they could summon. Next up, we have Divine Dragon Lord Felgrand. This card is special summoned from the graveyard, target 1 monster your opponent controls, or in their graveyard, banish it, and this card gains attack and defense equal to the monster's original level or rank times 100. Also, if it destroys a monster by battle, you could summon 1 level 7 or 8 dragon-type monster from the graveyard. So obviously, if this attacks, you could summon one of your other dragons from the graveyard, usually Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon or Arkbrave Dragon, and then it's just got that additional effect when it's summoned from the graveyard. A lot of this deck revolves around putting dragons in the graveyard so that you can then special summon them back out. Next up, we have Galaxy Knight. If you control a Photon or Galaxy monster, you can normal summon this card without tributing. If you do, target 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in your graveyard. This card loses 1,000 attack, and if you do, special summon that target. And that attack decrease lasts until the end phase. So just in general, if you want a 2800 beater and you control any other Galaxy monster, if you could special summon them from the graveyard, or you could special summon Galaxy Soldier, you can just normal summon this. It'll only have 1800 attack the turn it's summoned, but after the end phase it goes back up to 28. You can also use this as rank 8 Ixie material. When it's summoned, if you have a Galaxy Eyes in the graveyard, which we often do, you could special summon it, and that's an instant rank 8 Ixie. Next up we have the 1 Arkbrave Dragon. This is not good on the field as much. If you special summon it from the graveyard, you can banish as many face-up spell traps your opponent controls as possible. This card gains 200 attack and defense for each, so this is pretty good against like pendulums and stuff like that, but otherwise it's not all that useful. Its main effect is during the standby phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there last turn, special summon 1 level 7 or 8 dragon-type monster from the graveyard. So if you have this in your hand or you send it from your deck to the graveyard, then you're going to be able to special summon one of your other dragons out of the graveyard. Again, Felgrand is going to be the best target because it gets its effect, but Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is good to have on there too. Next up, we have our level 5 Galaxy Soldier. Send 1 other light monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card. When this card is special summoned, add 1 Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. But you can only use that effect once per turn. So this is a great card in this deck. It lets you put all your dragons into the graveyard. It lets you get rid of Galaxy Knights that you can't use, or just put Photon Dragons in the graveyard so you can use Galaxy Knight. It's actually a great combo because you discard it, and then because you special summoned, you can normal summon Galaxy Knight, and then special summon your Photon Dragon out. And of course you get the search off of it too. Of course, most famously, this can be used to create Cyber Dragon Nova, because these are both machines, and then that can be used to make Cyber Infinity Dragon. So if you have one of these in your hand, and you have 2 light monsters, then you can make Cyber Infinity Dragon, because you could search out the other Galaxy Soldier and just discard 2 light monsters. And we want light monsters in the graveyard, so this is a great card with this deck. So next up we have Paladin of Felgrand. This is probably the least useful card in this deck. It's still useful, but if you were playing a more competitive deck, probably replace him with like Foolish Burial or maybe a Mathematician or something. This is when this card is normal or special summoned, equip one level 7 or 8 dragon type monster from your hand or deck to this card. This card is unaffected by other monster effects while it's equipped. So this is basically just like grab a Galaxy Eyes or grab a Felgrand from your deck, and then when this is destroyed, that monster goes into the graveyard. So it's just a good way to get monsters from your deck into the graveyard a little bit faster. Of course, being a 1700 beater that's immune to monster effects is pretty decent too, in certain conditions. It also has this effect that you contribute one monster and this card to target one level 7 or 8 dragon-type monster in your graveyard, special summon it. It's used occasionally. If you have, like, say, like this and a Galaxy Soldier and no way to special summon from the graveyard, but most of the time you already have cards that summon from the graveyard, so you don't want to tribute 2 cards to do that. You're better off just making like a rank 4 Ixie or just keeping this on as a battler. Next up we have Summoner Monk. Because we play a lot of different spells, Summoner Monk's pretty good. It can be used to get your Galaxy Wizard, or your Keeper of the Shrine, or your Paladin of Felgrand. Both of these have effect. I mean, when this is special summoned, you still get its effect. And then you can just Ixie summon with it, and that's instantly putting these in the graveyard. So this is just how you make your rank 4. We've got a little bit of a toolbox here. You can really run whatever you want. There's a couple other plays, like I said, Galaxy Wizard, but just basic speeding up the deck. We play the 1 Keeper of the Shrine. This can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute of a dragon monster when it's in your hand or graveyard. If a face-up dragon-type monster is sent to the graveyard because of a card effect or being destroyed, you can special summon this. So this is just a little bit of recovery. This is if one of your monsters gets destroyed, if they Raigeki, you can summon this back out of your graveyard. And of course, if you have like one of these in your hand and this in your graveyard, you can call the Haunted this and it counts as 2 tributes. So it's decent. We only played it 1 because we have ways to send it to the graveyard, a couple different ways, and generally it's not all that great. It's got 2100 defense, but as a defense wall, even then it's not all that great. Next up is Galaxy Soldier. Once per turn, you can increase this card's level by 4. You contribute this card to add 1 Galaxy card from your deck to your hand, except for Galaxy Wizard. So this is your Searcher. You can use this to get, of course it takes your normal summon, but that doesn't really matter if you got to use Galaxy Soldier. If you just want to search out this and you have 2 other light monsters, you can make Cyber Infinity Dragon just with the Galaxy Wizard. You can use it to get your Photon Dragon. Most importantly, you can use it to get Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon. This is your big recovery. It also helps start off some of your plays. You contribute this card to special summon a Galaxy Eyes monster from your hand or graveyard, except for itself. You can only use that once per turn. It also has the effect that if it's in the graveyard, you could target a Galaxy Eyes Ixie monster and attach this as material, but you can only do that once per duel. So this is just a good way of getting Galaxy Eyes out of your hand or graveyard to get your plays started off, or summoning out your cards in your extra deck, because these are not from your extra deck, but summoning out your destroyed Ixie monsters. I guess that's a good time to go over the Ixie monsters. We have the Tachyon Dragon. You rarely use this as anything other than a stepping stone. Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Dragon, 4000 attack. You can Ixie summon it just on top of any Galaxy Eyes, so that's why we use this. You make your rank 8 with any of your level 8 monsters, and then you can just put this on top of it. It can detach to destroy 1 face-up card your opponent controls. And then you can go from that into Dark Matter Dragon. You can also summon this on top of any Galaxy Eyes monster. So you just go from Tachyon Dragon into Full Armor Dragon, detach to destroy something, and then put Dark Matter Dragon on top. When this card is summoned, you can send 3 Dragon-type monsters with different names from your deck to the graveyard, and then your opponent banishes 3 monsters from their deck. So this is the main way of dumping cards in the graveyard. Summon this thing, and then you're just going to dump like a Felgrand, you're going to dump your 1 Arkbrave, and your 1 Keeper of the Shrine. And not only are you going to be able to summon a Felgrand if you want to, because this was sent to the graveyard, you're going to have materials in the graveyard to summon with your other things, and you're going to have a little bit of backup with this. You can also send like the Cloud Dragon and use it to attach to material. You could send this, so if you want to summon this again. There's a lot of different options with that. And of course it's 4000, and you can detach to let it make 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase, which is a good effect just if you want to do a massive amount of damage. It's also good because you can activate it pretty much whenever you want. So if you want to make this and then detach Full Armor Dragon, you can use Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon to special summon this from the graveyard and make a 2nd Dark Matter Dragon. Because this can summon any Galaxy Eyes monster from your graveyard, including the Ixies. And once you get one of them, you can just stack the other ones on top. You could just summon Full Armor Dragon and then use Cloud Dragon's effect to attach itself to this, and then you have a material to detach to destroy a face-up card. So there's a lot of different combos you can make with those. The rest of the spells, a lot of them are just special summoning. We've got the Return of the Dragon Lords, target a 7 or 8 dragon in your graveyard, special summon it, and then if this is in the graveyard and a dragon monster you control would be destroyed, you can banish this card instead. So this is, again, you dump your dragons, you summon them with Return of the Dragon Lords. Galaxy Expedition, if you control a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster, special summon a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster. So this is, once you get Photon Dragon, you can use this to get your Galaxy Knight, Ixie summon. If you have a Galaxy Soldier and you don't want to discard more, use this to get another Galaxy Soldier. Or even better, special summon your Galaxy Soldier, add a Galaxy Knight, then use Galaxy Expedition to get your Photon Dragon from your deck. Now you control a Galaxy monster and you haven't normal summoned yet, so you normal summon your Knight, you make your rank 8, you can make your rank 5, and then you start the game with like a Dark Matter Dragon and a Cipher Dragon Infinity, which is a pretty tough combo to get over. We play Trade-In, just draw power. We play a lot of level 8 monsters, and again, it's just more getting cards into the graveyard. 2 Forbidden Chalice, because monster effects are our main worry. 3 Twin Twister, because it gets cards in the graveyard and destroys things. And 3 Call of the Haunted, because again, it's more getting things from the graveyard. Everything else in the extra deck, I think I went over everything. This is pretty good against other Ixie monsters. It gains attack equal to the combined ranks of all monsters on the field. So if you happen to do a mirror match or just against something else, rank 10 trains, this can become extremely powerful. Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon is a newer card. You can basically snatch steal one monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes 3,000, and its name becomes Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon. So not only are you stealing something, not only are you getting another monster with 3,000 attack, but if you steal an Ixie monster, because its name is Galaxy Eyes, you can summon these on top of it, so it's just even more. And then Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. This thing can negate a spell card during either player's turn. So against certain decks you want to bring this out. I don't particularly like it, especially in that one you got all these 4,000s, and you can't summon things on top of it, because it's not a Galaxy Eyes monster, it's just a Galaxy monster. Everything else, like this is just toolbox. If you need to make rank 5s, this is a good option. Rank 4, you can make whatever you want, which just brings us to the side deck. Actual side deck stuff I would consider would be Honest. I ran this in here originally, but it was actually a little slow, and you don't need it because a lot of your monsters are 4,000 anyway, and if you're making Dark Matter Dragon, it's dark, so you can't use Honest. But if you're running into like a mirror match, or you're running into something where they have a lot of 4,000 attack, or more than 4,000 attack, Honest is definitely good for siding in. Galaxy Cyclone can be a little better in certain situations. It's also good if they play a lot of spell traps or your Pendulum deck. You can put these in. You can also search this with Galaxy Wizard because it's a Galaxy card. An extra Forbidden Chalice just in case monster effects are a real problem. Maybe side out one of the Twin Twisters against something like, oh, I don't know, Light Sworns. And then the Forbidden Lance, if you don't have to worry about monster effects, if they're much more spell traps, if you're running against trap tricks, then maybe put this in there, ditch the Forbidden Chalices. Oh yeah, and Tachyon Trap Hole. This is when a face-up Galaxy Ixie monster you control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster, or by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard. Destroy as many face-up cards your opponent controls as possible. If you do, banish them. And then during your draw phase, if this card is in your graveyard, instead of drawing, you can banish this card, target a Galaxy Ixie monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So this is super protection for like, okay, if they destroy one of your Ixie monsters, you can just wipe their whole field, and then next turn, instead of drawing, special summon an Ixie out of the graveyard. Really good, especially because, like I said, the Ixies, you can just rank them up without having to use any sort of spell trap or anything. So you can just make a 4,000 attack beater. The problem with this is that oftentimes, like, this is sort of like a win harder card. Usually if I can make all the Ixies, I've already won. And usually if they're going to destroy my stuff, it's going to be when I still have the regular monsters on the field before I make my big plays. But if you're having trouble with that, this could be a really good like comeback card. Or if you want to make this a little less competitive, a little bit more cheesy, and just make those big epic plays, that could be a good one. The only other things in here, a couple extra options. I'd probably put Foolish Burial in here. If you were running a more competitive version, I try to stick away from one-ofs. Dark World Dealings, if you wanted to make this a lot faster, maybe take out the Call of the Haunted and just try to move even faster. Go everything on your turn with the Return of the Dragon Lords. And Schwarzschild Limit Dragon. If your opponent controls a monster with 2,000 or more, special summon this from your hand. It's level 8. It kind of assumes you're going second, but you like to go second with this deck anyway. But again, it kind of makes it faster if you want to go more into the Dark Matter Turbo and maybe take out some of these Paladin of Felgrands. Putting these in is a good option. It's also a pretty cheap card. So there you go. There's your deck profile for this week. Next week, I have no idea what I'm doing yet. Until then, good luck. Have fun.